Let's turn now to the other big foreign policy story of the week, obviously Greenland. This just out from the Euro Intelligence. They say the Greenland crisis isn't over just yet. Quote, the first leaked outlines of the deal suggest that the U.S. is insisting on sovereignty, not over the entirety of the island of Greenland, but over the land on which they base their military installations. That's still a red line for Greenlanders and for Denmark.
Our national correspondent Carla Babb has the very latest on the Trump administration's efforts to acquire Greenland. Carla, what can you tell us?
Well, hi, Bob and Katrina. NATO Secretary General Mark Rutte met this morning with Denmark's Prime Minister in Brussels. Rutte posting this on X, quote, we're working together to ensure that the whole of NATO is safe and secure and will build on our cooperation to enhance deterrence and defense in the Arctic. Denmark continues to make robust contributions to our shared security and is ramping up investment to do even more. Now, take a look at Denmark's defense contributions as a percent of GDP. Denmark ranks 6th among NATO allies, spending 3.22%. Well, you know which country Denmark is tied with? The United States. We also spend 3.22% of GDP on defense. So when you look at who the 5 NATO countries are that spend more, well, all countries that share a border with Russia, that's who. And why is that? Defense experts say, it wasn't because of President Biden or President Trump or any American president who pushed NATO's non-U.S. allies into hitting their spending goal of at least 2%. It was Vladimir Putin. That's what they say. And so if you follow the money to support this, non-U.S. NATO defense spending increased by an average of about $10 billion per year from 2014, the year NATO set the 2% goal, to 2022. Then look, after Russia invaded Ukraine in 2022, boom, NATO spending shot up those 3 years, increasing an average of more than $60 billion per year. Just look at that line. Now, U.S. and European officials say it is time to extend that focus to the Arctic. And European military officials tell me about 20 years ago, all of NATO, including the United States, agreed that the Arctic was a low-tension area where allies weren't going to spend a lot of our money. The war against terror was the priority. We all remember 9/11. But, with Russia being an Arctic nation and its first invasion of Ukraine in 2014 happening, well, that started slowly changing the perspective on Arctic defense, officials tell me. And NATO's Supreme Allied Commander, U.S. General Alex Grinkowicz, said Thursday recent Chinese-Russian cooperation in the Arctic is causing worry. Let's listen.
I think one of the most concerning changes in the security situation has been the growing collaboration between Russia and China in the Arctic. And we've seen that over the last several years. It's been both in the maritime domain with increased joint patrols, as well as in the air domain with long-range bomber patrols being conducted jointly. So the activity that they're doing together is definitely increasing.
So the question now will be how seriously NATO takes this threat, with officials on both sides of the Atlantic saying the Arctic should be a major theater for NATO spending as the alliance aims to ramp up defense spending goals to 5% of GDP by 2035. Bob and Katrina?
Carla Babb, thank you.